As the dispute over the solid waste consent decree continues in court, federal receivers Gershman, Brickner, and Bratton have announced that post-closure care for ORDOT dump will increase significantly. By how much has yet to be determined. But more importantly,
Federal receivers Gershman, Brickner, and Bratton filed their special report on Monday announcing that post-closure care for ORDOT dump will increase significantly. The amount, which has yet to be determined, will be on top of $14.3 million GBB says it would cost for post-closure care. But it's just part of an even bigger amount the government will have to pay to come into compliance with a consent decree. We do not yet have a revised estimate of the cost of post-closure care, the report says. We will provide the revised estimate to the court as soon as we reach agreement on it with regulatory authorities. GBB says the reason the cost will rise is because regulatory agencies made big changes in their requirements. The federal receivers just came back from a technical conference last week to discuss the post-closure care for ORDOT dump. And GBB says in attendance were also U.S. EPA and Guam EPA. Guam EPA Administrator Eric Palacios confirms that he sent Division Manager Conchita Taitano to that meeting, but he says he was ordered by Chief District Court Judge Francis Tidinko Gatewood to do so. It's not like I had a choice, Palacios emphasized. What happened at that meeting, Palacios says he has not yet heard back from Taitano, as she had just returned to Guam yesterday, and he has not had a chance to meet with her. So what does this mean for the island, and what does GBB mean when they say the cost will increase significantly? Governor Calvo's legal counsel, Sandra Miller, tells PNC that it could only mean that island ratepayers will have to pay for this significant increase. Whether it's through rate increases, bond borrowing, tipping fees, the bottom line is it will cost the people of Guam, she says.
Miller also says that depending on the amount, if the government coffers can't handle it, the legislature will have to appropriate the funds.
UOG professor Dr. Ron McNinch says that he's concerned that by arresting John and Kathryn Pareto, Gov Guam is creating a chilling effect that could scare off whistleblowers or anyone else who wants to make a complaint about potential government fraud.
I don't believe this arrest was in any way justified. I think it was improper, and I think it was an improper use of law enforcement authority. It's a very basic civil rights issue.
UOG professor Dr. Ron McNinch is talking about the arrest of John and Kathryn Pareto, a couple that were arrested for making false statements about a cooler full of ballots. Kathryn Pareto signed an affidavit essentially swearing under penalty of perjury that she saw a cooler full of ballots pre-marked for Calvo Tenorio at a Guerrero precinct on Election Day. She would later rescind her affidavit with another statement saying in part, quote, "On Election Day, I did see a ballot, but not too sure after the passage of time whether it was an official general election ballot or a sample ballot, and it was only one ballot that I saw." Because of this, Dr. McNinch believes she's being punished for making what she felt was a legitimate complaint.
And she said, "Oh, I didn't know that." So that was ameliorated. So she was asked to make a second affidavit. So they're taking the first affidavit and the second affidavit and in effect accusing her of a criminal act because she tried to take back what she said in the beginning when she was told what the information was.
Dr. McNinch believes this arrest may have violated the Pareto's civil rights.
We have a First Amendment protection, we have a right to petition government, we have an Organic Act protection, we have a right to petition government, we have civil rights, and she had a civil right to complain.
And the UOG professor is concerned that this sends the wrong message to the community.
What this does is it penalizes citizens or even government officials for using their process of petition, and that's wrong. And also using the police department, which are law enforcement, they're supposed to be dealing with burglars and dealing with carjackers and people like that, using them for an administrative review process to look into an administrative matter. I'm deeply concerned about what we generally call the color of law. That is where they're using their powers of office in a way that's probably not healthy for our community.
McNinch says he doesn't think this is a criminal matter. And he thinks this arrest is more of a political move meant to scare people from filing complaints against the government.
In the federal government, you call this a chilling effect, that when you arrest people for making complaints, you create a chilling effect, and that is wrong. We should not have that happen. What would happen if I complained to the media or complained to anybody else? Would I then be attacked or arrested for making a complaint? What if I'm a whistleblower? Oh, would I be attacked or persecuted for doing that, using government processes? That's wrong.
John and Kathryn Pareto were booked and released and have yet to be magistrated in court. Meanwhile, more arrests could be made as Police Chief Fred Berdallo has told PNC that the investigation continues.
Glenn Leon Guerrero will soon take the helm of the Department of Public Works. The governor's office has confirmed that Leon Guerrero will be appointed acting director of DPW to fill the vacancy that will soon be left by current director Carl Dominguez. Dominguez is resigning from his position to take a job in the private sector. The last day for Dominguez is on December 31st, and Leon Guerrero will immediately fill the position in an acting capacity. Leon Guerrero recently ran for senator on the Republican ticket in this last election, but did not make the cut. He also served as the general manager of the Port Authority of Guam during Governor Felix Camacho's last term.
All right, well, it's Christmas Eve, and the island community is busy making preparations. PNC's Rizal Romana has visited one of the shopping malls today and asked residents about their Christmas plans.
From last-minute Christmas shopping to buying groceries for the yummy feast to making sure everything is wrapped under the tree, the island community is busy making preparations for Christmas. We asked a few residents what they planned for the big day.
Tonight, we're going to have dinner in my house with my family.
Noche Buena?
Yes. And tomorrow, we're eating at my daughter's house for breakfast.
Oh, okay.
And we go to church and we celebrate the birth of Jesus.
To spend time with my family and for everyone to have a Merry Christmas and to be safe on this island.
Plans for Christmas, enjoy time with my family, spend time with them, friends and family, in fact, most importantly, worshiping God.
We're going to go down to our ranch, spend our whole day outdoors in the sun.
They then explained what Christmas means to them.
Christmas to me is about family, getting together, family and friends, and also celebrating the birth of Jesus.
I just like celebrating Christmas overall with my family and friends. What's most important is that, best to give rather than receive.
What does Christmas mean to you guys?
My family's finally in a good mood. Yeah, it's really just bringing everyone together one day where we don't fight.
Lastly, we asked what they hope to find under their Christmas tree.
I just hope that for Christmas we put away all hatred and fighting and instead embrace love and peace among each other all over the world.
I wish I got a new phone and a new car if my mom makes me drive.
What do you want for Christmas?
I want the love and affection of all my family members.
I love the other reindeer. You still have to call him names. Oh, they never let poor Rudolph join in any reindeer game.
Merry Christmas, Guam, from Rizal Romanes, PNC News.